I was laughing. Yes, that part's true, but the rest of it, I'm like, as I'm going through it with the fire and brimstone coming out, it's like, mm,
And I see what you meant with Rhonda being like, she being in church. It was like, yes, go for it. I was laughing so hard. Rhonda, her face.
yeah, and I couldn't
Or
see
are
it all.
y'all
I gotta,
talking about me already?
yes. Steph and I had a wonderful conversation last night a little bit. And then she wasn't on yesterday. I said, you might want to go back and watch that. I said, there's a part where I absolutely come unglued and you may want to it's funny. So that's what she's talking about.
It was good stuff, Steffi. It was good.
It was. It was. I watched it this morning when I was having breakfast, and it was awesome. You went in too, girl.
Well, he spoke to me. He was starting to preach, so I'm like, uh-oh, hang on now. Oh, it was good.
Hey, good morning, Misfits. It is Sunday, March 29th, episode 404. I got to tell you, it was from yesterday morning till 10 o'clock. No, yeah, till 10 o'clock doing Zooms, a couple hours off to eat and chase demons out my house. And I'm just telling you, the world is needing you. As you get more and more busy, as you give yourself out to the world, as you just let them borrow you and borrow your energy, borrow your wisdom, borrow your all of this, because that's all they can do is borrow it. They can even walk away with it, but it's still going to be borrowed. We need you right now, every single one of you. Every single one of you. There's thousands of people looking for you. And it doesn't matter. And it may not be for business. I had this wildly amazing entrepreneur. She coaches Olympic athletes in archery. Now, I know archery is a sport, meaning I know that it's an Olympic sport. I don't know that I know any Olympic archers, but I know one of the coaches that coaches Olympic archers. Amazing woman. And she calls me yesterday in a panic. She goes, I just love you. I just love you. That's how she talks. This is how this woman talks. I just love you. I just love you. I just love you. I said, I love you too, Amy. What's up, girl? She goes, I'm trying to figure out this Zoom. I know you do a lot of them. I'm like, how do you know I do a lot of them? She goes, I watch your stuff. I'm like, why don't you ever like my stuff? It's so funny. So she's single. And she did this, she has this single mingles group that she does. And she said, could you come on and give some dating tips? I go, you know, I'm married. She goes, I know, but you're just this most amazing, loving soul. And I'll make sure everybody knows you're married, because otherwise you'll get a lot of hits. I'm like, well, so I jump on this call and it's anywhere from 35 to 76 and there's 30 of them. And I jump on and I'm like, she goes, so we were just talking about our word. What's the word we want in a relationship? What's the word we want in our partner? And she said, but what would be your three tips for dating? I said, 1, you got to be laughing. 2, don't give yourself away. Don't. And so she's just like, and they're all like going, and it was the most amazing thing. And it was odd. It was weird, talk about energy. Now I love Amy to death. Emmy is her name. What a great name. But she is just this high energy ball of just joy. So, I mean, and she told everybody, now he's happily married. I said, yeah, 20 years. But who on earth would invite a married guy onto a singles mingles community? You got a message to share, and it's your joy, it's your happiness, it's your goofiness, it's your everythingness. So that's what I just wanted to share with you. It was amazing. Yeah, soon have our own dating podcast, hey, singles mingles, here we go. Misfits mingles, misfits with a batch. Yeah, yesterday was quite an energetic day. There's another project that I'm working on that these leaders came on to. It's a traditional business, and these leaders came on to, and they're people who have built communities over time. And these communities that they built over time are now looking um, to have a conversation to be able to build business. So imagine taking LinkedIn, if you know what LinkedIn is, and taking eHarmony and blending that technology, those algorithms together, meaning in LinkedIn, in this model, you answer a few questions, like 60 questions about your business, who you are, who's your ideal customer, who's your avatar, who are you looking for? And somebody on the other side, when they click who they are and what they do, they can instantly be matched up, and you'll get matched up with 3 or 4 individuals who you could do business with. And just like on eHarmony, you could decide who they are, what they want to do, and you can decide eventually when we have meetups again, right? We can meet face to face. You can have that conversation, or you can have a digital coffee, or you can have all these other things that happen. So it's pretty neat. So but the thing that I loved is that we had 34 of the top affiliates show up, and 80% of them were women. I loved that. I love that. It was so amazing. So yeah, and then yesterday, probably so besides chasing spirits out of my house, literally, and having some amazing and absolutely wildly brilliant conversations yesterday, I got one of the more joyous moments of the year. Monique Peters shows up at my house with a big old apple pie. Shows up at my house. So Monique, I want to say thank you. And I got to tell you, I'm glad you've had all these little practices, because I bet the first one probably tasted just as good as that one. But I just loved seeing you. I loved your energy. Thank you for bringing your family. Thank you for sharing Gabby with me, and your boys with me, and your husband with me. So what just an amazing chat. And here's the thing. I'm sitting here. I was actually on a Zoom with Amy Emmy, and I get this text. I'm at your door. I'm like, hang on.
Right. You know, what's funny is as we were waiting, we could hear you from outside. Your energy was like so big. I was like, he's got to be on a Zoom call. And I'm checking Instagram, like, is he on a live maybe? Because I could just hear you like from outside on your call, and I was cracking up. But I'm glad you enjoyed the pie. Yes, it was good to have practice. My husband said this was the best one yet, so they're getting better.
They were, but because I went out, I went out to, you know how you're like, you cut an apple pie, right? You cut it into pieces. I went out after I came back in, showed it around the house, showed it to Mason, showed it to Michelle. I told him who it was from, and then I come back on, I do a Zoom, and I go back out, and it looked like I don't know, it looked like a horse got into it. Because it was like half of it was gone, but it looked like it was just picked at. And I said, "What happened to the pie?" And Michelle goes, I don't know. I think a fork fell in it."
That's hilarious.
But it was absolutely beautiful. You are an amazingly beautiful spirit. Thank you for coming in. And I can't imagine the world without you. I'm so glad that I get to be in this world with you. And I can't wait for all of us to hook up here. I'm going to be filming when you and RBP hug next, so it'll be.
Oh my gosh, that's going to be a crazy moment.
That's going to be on right there. Woo! I can't wait.
We need a whole videographer there to just capture the whole thing.
I know. Yes. I know. We do.
And then I sent the pictures of Monique and I to Rhonda. Yeah, I'm so jealous.
Yep.
Yes, I was very envious of that moment between y'all. Oh, it looked so good.
We get an excuse to see him again because I left my little cooler there at his house. So get that.
You are so smart.
Yep. That was an intentional drop right there, Sean. I should have left my kids there, actually.
You could have, yes. And to see Gabby, and Gabby, when you think going into the military, she's 10 foot tall and bulletproof, and I have no doubt she is. But the smile on her face, the military is going to be so blessed to have her. She's just an amazing soul.
Thank you.
Well, now that I've talked about me a lot, I'm done talking about me. Why don't y'all talk about me a little bit? I'm teasing. So, anybody have any ahas, awarenesses, or awakenings that they'd like to share? Ahas, awarenesses, awakenings.
Sean, I'm
Go.
sorry, y'all. I'm literally buttering my biscuits. Literally. I'm sitting here thinking, and yesterday, after some of the conversations you and I had between us and with others, I can't stress enough how in the deepest part of my spirit, I'm hearing how much the world is hurting and how much people are looking for a place to land. They're just needing a safe place to land and a place to be loved with no ulterior motive. Woo, I got caught on the door handle. No strings attached. I was getting pulled back by the door handle. Sorry. And it just hits my heart that every one of us on this phone call, that's what we're striving to do. You can strive all you want. Just do it. Just step into it. Just love somebody for no reason. And to not even receive anything in return. You will, but not even worried about that. And I keep praying for the whole globe, because it's not a heaviness that sits on me. It's a feeling of there is something contagious, and it's not the corona, whatever. It's love and joy and peace. And when you show up and you love people, it is amazing what you're going to hear. And it's amazing the bonds that you'll create. And it's amazing the chains that you're going to break. And yesterday, Sean, us getting to break some of those chains together and then getting to step into even more, my heart and my soul are on fire. Like, there is nothing you can do to put it out. And I'm just enjoying the moment by moment, not even knowing what's coming next, and just sitting and waiting for it, because it's good. So I'm going to encourage y'all, just show up. Just show up and be present. And that's it. And then receive. A girlfriend of mine sent me yesterday, just present is just to remain in the moment every minute, and it's God's present to us. And I just love that. So I'm over here just kind of hovering around. I don't know that my feet have touched the ground since yesterday, and I'm loving it. So just thought I'd share.
And here's the thing. I'd ask you to just remember how amazing each of you are, because for you to sit there and there's a part of your brain that could possibly say, yeah, but I'm not like Sean. I'm not like Rhonda. What I will say is thank God, because the world needs you. It needs your experience. It needs your energy. Your vibe creates your tribe. And as you come into this giving, into this awarenessing, into this awakening, into this loving, whoever is looking for you is looking for you. And I'm telling you, there's going to be, people are needing to be challenged to be free. That's what this transition is. They're needing to be challenged to be free. Because here's the thing, the answer's inside. The answer is inside them already. It's an amazing awareness. The messages that I'm getting, the conversations that I'm getting, the texts that I'm getting, it's just absolutely unbelievable to me. To me, this little farm boy from Ohio, because remember, we all still think of who we are as we were. So it's pretty amazing. Michael, you got your hand up, brother.
I do. Can I share something real quick?
Well, what'd you raise your hand for? Listen, there's a part of you that says that every time, I love you. But if you get picked on, if you get picked to say something, you do not have to ask that question. I'm speaking to your subconscious. Because it is okay, because you have something valuable to share. You are worthy, you are capable, you have a capacity of adding tremendous value. So in my group, on this call, you don't ever have to ask that again. You're muted. Now you got to unmute yourself, goofball.
Oh, Jesus. All right. So yesterday, Sean, at the end of the call, right? At the end of the call is when it started to pick up. And then I left the call and I was just driving. And I remember you told Brittany or someone, like, you were looking for the walls to hit, but there were no walls, like, in your mind, like that little cage in your mind. And it was so cool because yesterday, I swear, in my mind, I felt so free that I was actually like, wait, where are the walls? Like, there's literally like no walls of fear or anything. And it was like my whole body, my head felt light and elevated, like such a cool feeling. And I was like, oh my God, like I'm going to make it my mission to have that feeling 24/7. So even though it wasn't 24/7, it was close to, I almost had that the whole day. And it was like that feeling of freedom.
And it's here's the thing that's powerful. As you begin to awaken it, you get it to like a 2, right? And then you get it to a 10. But here's the thing on the volume of joy. There's no end number. It could be a trillion, billion, million, quadrillion. There is no max on joy. So as you continue to work on it and you continue to stay in it, and the more you stay in it, the louder it gets and the better it gets, because it's absolutely doing less. Joy is easy when you not understand it, and being wildly more.
Yeah, I have a question for you, Sean. Do you
Sure.
literally feel that way every second of the day? Are you able to master that yet?
I would say I'm at it probably 90% of the day, but in a high frequency.
Okay, what does that mean, the high frequency?
Goosebumps. Not just a good feeling, not just right now I'm in a good feeling. And every now and then, more than every now and then, but every time I see somebody's hand go up, I get into that high state. My body goes into the high vibration. And that's where I get my connection from. That's how the Holy Spirit speaks to me, and universal awareness shares with me, and your old history shows up at me, because I can have the connection. I don't know what your vibration is, but my body enters into that. So yes, I'm at that probably 90% of the day.
Cool. I got you. I'm gonna get to there. Well, I'm gonna get past that, to be honest, but
Absolutely. Because here's the thing, when silence shows up, that's when it gets real loud. So when somebody asks that question, I go, okay, I'm hearing this. See, when you're in the highest vibration, it doesn't show up on the outside. It shows up on the inside, because there's a knowing that there's a knowing that there's a knowing that as much as I'm aware of, as much as I'm gifted to become graced with, I need to say it in a way that it'll be heard, and not Mardi Gras style, jumping up and down, screaming, hooting and hollering. So as you get more, as your energy increases, your stillness will absolutely increase as well, because you don't want anything else to disturb that. So you stay in this lessness, less thinking, less activity, but more, so much more is happening.
yeah. Hey, I got one more thing to share. So one thing that was really cool is my team in our network marketing company. We actually made our name yesterday, and we made it Satori, which was I think it's Hindu for coming to enlightenment and awakening. And I was like, all right, that's the name I'm rocking with. I like that.
That's very cool.
Yes.
And it gives you a chance, because when you say something somebody doesn't know, you do have to explain it. So that's a good explanation to be taking time on. Congrats.
Yeah.
Very cool, brother. Thank you for being here. Always. Brandon, you got your hand up, brother. Boy, it's guys' day. It's morning day for guys.
Great morning. I think Shammy had her hand up before me, though.
Okay, she did, but I did see that now that I say it. So we'll get to Shammy right after this.
Okay. All right. So great morning, everybody. I just wanted to share something like a moment that I had with my family yesterday. We were watching The Lion King. The like, it was like animated, but it's like it looks real, the most recent version. And so I like to get something from everything that I do and watch. And so we were watching it, and it was a part in the movie and I kind of forgot about it, but when they say Hakuna Matata, and then like they were saying it means no worries and stuff like that. I was like, how did I forget about that part of the movie? And so just to like add that in, and just to have like and we talk about this all the time about like the importance of certain things that we value versus like not putting that much value on it, so that you're not worried about it. And so Hakuna Matata, that's what I feel like that resonated with me and my mom and my wife. We were just like, that's good. Like just simply like just to think about it like that. But then also it was one part of the movie, and Sean, you just said this. You said who you were. And so he went, it was a part in his time as he got old, as Simba got older. And he was looking at the stars, and he said something to Timon and Pumbaa about what the stars meant to him and what his dad told him. And they kind of thought it was a joke. And so he was trying to figure out pretty much, because his dad was trying to send him a message. And so it was a monkey that when he was born, he gave him the red stripe on the head. And that night, Simba shook his head, and a piece of hair flew, and it flew for like miles. And it just so happened to get to this monkey. And it's because the monkey thought that he was dead because of his uncle, and he sent the hyenas after them, kill him and everything. And so they told him that he was dead, but he saw that hair and he found out that he was still alive. And so he went to search for Simba, and Simba was walking through the forest and just trying to find himself, because he was raised by Timon and Pumbaa after having to run away from his home and different things like that. And so the monkey comes out of nowhere, and he's in the woods, and he's talking to him. He's like, go away. He's like, who are you? And then he was just like, he said that I'm a friend of your father's. And he's like, you know my dad? And he's like, yeah. And then he was like, he's alive. He's like, come with me. So then Simba gets really excited, and he chases him, like he follows him. And so they get to like this pond or this water, this river or whatever. And so he's like, his dad, he's like, are you ready to see your dad? And so he walks past him to the water and to the river or whatever it is. And he looks at, and he sees his reflection. And so when he sees his reflection, he's just like, I don't see anything. I just see myself. And so the monkey taps the pond, and his dad's reflection shows up. And so then he starts to like speak to him and let him know who he is, because he was lost and he didn't really know who he was after leaving and being raised by someone else in another like area than where he was raised and stuff like that. And so his dad speaks to him, and then at the end, before this happened, the monkey was like, who are you? And Simba was like, I don't know. And then after his dad spoke to him and told him who he was, and that he was the king of the kingdom pretty much, and that it was destined for him to rule, he lit this fire in him, And the monkey asked him right after that, "Who are you?" And then he was like, "Simba, the king of the jungle," or he said something like that. And it just brought me back to what you just said, because it's just like, really, who are we? Like, who are we? And this is what these calls are for. And so I'm so glad that I was able to be aware for that, because I mean, in the past I probably wouldn't have even thought about that. But with my growth and just with these calls and just everything, it's just allowing me to be more aware for even things like that. And so I'm just like, who am I? Like, who am I? Like, who? I'm like asking my mom, who are you? I'm asking my wife. So it was pretty funny. It was pretty cool. So, but that was a great moment yesterday. So yeah.
Well,
Just wanted
thank you for sharing that, because here's the thing. Everything I needed to know, I learned in kindergarten.
Mhm.
When we have childlike awareness and childlike wonder, we can be taught so much.
Yeah.
It's when we get into this idea that we are something other than, we are a label, we're a concept. You are the whole universe. You are the generations, the hundreds of generations, the potentially thousands of generations who have gone before you. You are all of them embodied into this body, this human being that sits before us right now. You're your father, your grandfather, your mother, your grandmother, your great-grandmother, your great-great-great-great-grandfather, grandmother. You're all of the challenges, all of the history, all of the things that made them who they were, that got them through their challenges. You are boiled down into the essence of this moment in history and time. You are unstoppable. You have all of the knowledge of the world from their experience boiled into your DNA. That's why it's everything you need to know is inside of you. The reason that is a challenge for us is because everything that we're doing now, they've never done. All they can give us is what they had, and what they had was all they got. And what you have to do is give all you got, because when you give all you got, you'll have all you want. And it's all about doing less. It's about being more right now, and doing less, you become more. And in that more, you get to stand up and hold that up, and stand there at the top of the mountain, holding up your soul, holding up your heart, going, this is the king, this is the glory. And that's usually has somebody that 3 little letters that go along with it.
Yeah. Yeah. I think somebody said to repeat that in the chat.
Yeah. Good luck. That's why we got it recorded.
Yeah, but no, that was just a great moment. And I'm truly thankful, because yeah, like, and it's funny because we put the movie on for my daughter, and my daughter didn't even watch the movie. My mom and my wife and myself, we watched the movie, and we were just so in tune, and I was just getting so much from it. And I'm just like, wow, this is amazing.
So let's take that episode, let's take that event.
Mm-hmm.
Did your daughter ask for it?
No, she didn't.
So then you didn't put it on for her.
It was for me. It was for me all along.
Be very careful where we give the reward to. You did it for you. You thought the excuse was for her. But if she didn't ask for it, it was not for her. Now, even if she did ask for it, it was still for you, because she wasn't watching it. She's like, you know what? I got to give these adults something to do. Let me give them something to become aware of.
Yeah, no, that makes a lot of sense. Wow. I was excited to watch it too, so that makes a lot of sense. Also, really quick.
Yeah.
Unless you're about to say something else.
No, I'm about to say, go ahead.
Oh, okay. So yesterday, I don't know if you realized, and Ralph, I'm sorry if I put you on the spot, but like I put my number in the chat for Ralph and whoever else needed it. And so we were texting a little bit, and I looked at his number. I'm like, this number is really, my daughter's like so joyful right now. But
yes, let her, and let that sound out.
Yeah,
tell her we love her.
Yeah. But I was looking at his the area code, and I'm like, this is Maryland. And so I text him, and I'm like, hey Ralph, where are you from? Because this is the Maryland area code. And he told me, he said that he was from Maryland, and that's where I live. And then we found out that we live like probably like less than 30 minutes away from each other. But the funny thing about it is every time I seen him, I was like, it's something about this guy. I don't know what it is, something special about him. And so I put my number out there, and then I found out that like we're like literally not too far. So Sean, you did it again. And yeah, man.
Listen, misfits misfits are absolutely that. We don't fit together out there, but together in here we fit completely together, and this is where we find our strength. This is where you know, a piece of a puzzle that leaves the puzzle is still the puzzle.
Yeah. Local. I said to Ralph, I'm like, local misfits.
No apologies, Brandon. No apologies. You ain't put me out there. I'm not ashamed of anything.
Yeah, no, I just say that. That's just, yeah, but
It's okay.
Morning, Ralph.
hey, good
Good
morning, man.
morning, Sean. Good morning.
How's the mountainside, brother? How's the mountaintop?
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's clear and calm, as she just said.
And how's
Just like-
dad? How's dad
Uh,
handling today?
Oh, he's doing great. I haven't seen him today, though. I have to go by there and see him later on.
Okay. Give
Yeah,
him
we
all a
don't
hug
live-
from us.
Say it again.
Give him all a hug from us.
Oh, of course.
Yeah,
Love you guys.
we'll be meeting up once this situation clears up. We'll be meeting up definitely.
We'll be having some fun.
Yeah.
Gina, you got your hand up, my love.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Okay. So yesterday, after we had the conversation, we were talking about, me struggling to look into the camera and like me fixing my hair. I kind of noticed it's like a nervous twitch I kind of have.
That's okay.
Whenever I get nervous, I feel like I have to fix myself in a
Yep.
sense.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like there's like something wrong.
Yep.
And I kind of just realized that I do that. I don't know if I'm just becoming more aware of the things that I do and more aware of the things around me, because I'm starting to realize things that I never realized before. Like even in my house, I'm like, when did this like wall do this? Because I never noticed that this wall had this little ledge that hung over. I'm like, wow, maybe it's just I'm finally like now, like living in the now and being in the now.
And that's pretty amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I did have oh, sorry.
No, you go.
No, go, you go.
So this idea that you're seeing things you had not become aware before, they were always there. And as you begin to notice them on the outside, you'll also begin to notice them on the inside. The beauty, the brilliance, the smartness, the cleverness, the cuteness, the just everythingness about you takes on a whole new level. And all of these things you're becoming aware of are things that may or may not make a difference in your life, but they're allowing you to be present, to be in this moment. So I applaud you for that. That's a huge awakening. And as you sit even in the pool screen outside there in the sun, imagine if you had to spend a day and count the number of holes in the screen. Not the holes that a gnat could fly through, the little tiniest of squares that are in the mesh. And imagine if you just sat and you took 1 square inch and you counted how many little access areas, how many non-blocked areas there were from the screen. Boy, you'd have to really become attentive, wouldn't you? Now imagine counting the cells in your body, the 30 trillion cells in your body. It would take you hundreds of decades to count them all. But yet every day, that's what courses through your body. That's what 10 million cells a second die off. 10 million new cells a second are rebuilt. And it's those new cells that are rebuilt with age or with youth, with joy or with sadness, with awareness or no awareness. So as you sat in the awareness of seeing the ledge on the wall with the little lip and noticing things in the room, all of those new cells, all of those new cells, every second that were being rebuilt were being built with the memory of those places. Because now when you walk back in the room, they're not new anymore, but you knew that you recently noticed them. Is that not correct?
Yeah.
So how do you know that you recently became aware of those? Because it was a memory. And now what was new is now a memory. Can you imagine if everything you begin to look at is new? Can you imagine if you gave everything you looked at a new frequency? When you look at your parents, when you look at your friends, you look at them as if today was the first day you see them. You look at them with an excitement as the lip on the wall, the edge on the wall that you went, oh, I didn't notice that before. Imagine if you looked at everything the same way. You looked at the pool, you're sitting on the ground. You may have never ever sat on the exact area that you're sitting on right now. You may have sat close, but you have never sat on that you've never have sat on that spot before the way you sit on it today, because you were changed from the day you sat on it. Could you sit and wonder and say, oh my gosh, I'm sitting in the spot I've never sat in before. This is so amazing. When you enter that level of awareness, when you enter that level of absolutely every second is absolutely incredible. Now, all of a sudden, you begin to see things that are not in the real world. You begin to see things that are in the supernatural, and you begin to become aware of all of the greatness that exists inside of you. And you see things in the next level of new ways. And in that next level of new ways, you realize the freedom, the joy, the greatness, the wisdom that you bring to this moment. That bird that we just heard, that's the first time you've ever heard that bird.
I've been hearing birds like crazy, and it's that same bird, and it like leaves and then it comes back and it leaves and it comes. I think it's a cardinal. I had to look it up, but
is it red, or is it kind of like a tannish?
it's a tannish one.
And it has a little like orange beak.
Mm-hmm.
That's a female cardinal.
It's always like singing every morning
because it's showing up to its joy.
Mm-hmm.
You could literally ask, what message does it have for you?
I looked it up because I've been, like I said, I feel like God's been talking to me through animals. So every single time like I come across an animal, I always look up like the spiritual meaning of the animals.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, I've been learning. I guess maybe I'm just being more aware of the animals that are around me.
Yeah,
I live in like the woods.
Thinking a lot less about what your nails look like or what your hair feels like, or has anybody just seen that smile was different than any other smile you've ever seen? The smile you have right now is different than any other smile I've ever seen on you. It wasn't stressed. The smile was for you. It wasn't for me. I need you to hear that. The smile was for you. It wasn't for us. It wasn't for show. It was for feel. That's huge. Wow. Congratulations, my little sister.
As you said that, like the wind just started like whipping.
Not as I said it, as you revealed it to yourself. This is what happens. And I know, well, the wind blew. There's coincidences. They're not coincidences. They're coincidences.
But I did have one question.
Yes.
I remember a couple calls ago, I'm not sure which one, you said something about when you get like the little twinge, like in your leg or in your thigh. I've been getting that, like my ankles been like just randomly just twinging, or like I get it in my thigh. And I'm like, what is that?
So the story that carries you is being rewired. Your ankles are your foundation. Your feet are your foundation. Your thighs are the muscles that keep you up. That they're the biggest muscles in the body, connected to the biggest bone in the body. That's the core of you. So the story that has carried you, the words you have used to describe you, the words you have allowed people to use to describe you is changing.
I think I am becoming more aware of that, because I realized I didn't always say nice things to myself, and I wasn't always compassionate towards myself. And I'm like, if I'm not compassionate towards myself, I'm not going to be compassionate towards others. Because I realized, I kind of was thinking like Rhonda and Brittany, like I live in a world of stupid people, and if they just took my advice, they wouldn't be so stupid. And I'm starting to change that.
How does that feel?
It feels good.
So how does it feel in your body that you're doing an addition or a subtraction?
Run that by me one.
So are you allowing things to fade away and the other to show up? Or are you adding things to you, awarenesses to you that are vibrating more? So just be aware of when you have these new feelings and these new vibration, these little tinges, is it because you're letting go of something? Or is it because you're deciding to bring some in? If you had to give yourself the physical awareness of, is it a letting go and this is showing up, or are you adding this to?
Can it be both?
It can be. Because this is why I call all the things that I do personal undevelopment.
Mm-hmm.
Because all that we want is always inside of us. Our desire to learn more is inside of us. So we go read a book. So that was inside of us. The book wasn't inside of us. The desire was. So all of these things that we're getting ready to do always comes from an internal direction. Even when it's an outside source that says you have to do this, if we do that, it comes from an internal source. We do it because we don't want to lose our job. We don't want to do this. We don't want to do that. We don't want to have the negative things. So as you become aware, and as the birds keep showing up, and as the wind mysteriously appears, you become more aware. As you notice lips on shelves and all of this thing, you're becoming more and more aware. Becoming more and more aware requires you to become less and less aware of something else. So as you bring this stuff in, notice what's leaving. Because when we have a tendency to lose something, we have a tendency to we have a desire at a subconscious level to find it. But if we give it away and we accept other things with joy and love, if you accept gifts with joy and love, they seem to have so much better feelings in our body. You know, when a dad gets a tie for the 14th time, or gets an ashtray that's made out of his kid's hand from kindergarten, its value is absolutely less than $1, but what it means is priceless. So what are these priceless moments that you're now acquiring? What is that priceless? Do you realize St. Francis of Assisi connected with the animals and communed with the animals? Can you absolutely fall in love with the fact that this cardinal, same one, other ones, maybe there's a whole meeting of them going, okay, I talked to her for like an hour this morning. Then they fly away and they go back to their little huddle of cardinals, and the women are talking going, I think she's here and I don't know. She looks like she's here. And you go back and tell her. Become aware of the greatness you're revealing. Some of us have already seen it. And it's nice that you're showing up.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Shammy, I see your hand up.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi guys. Hi Sean.
Hello, my love.
First I want to say thank you, Sean, for this community and for building yourself to build us. It's just amazing. I went through like a week or two where just was going through some stuff, and I didn't want to like share that energy. I was just still staying. Actually, it's funny because I was talking. I didn't do much talking, but I was listening more and more. Just after the calls, sometimes I'll have like some free time, and I listen to old calls or some stuff that I missed, or sometimes I get on late. So I wasn't talking as much, but I was going back to listen to more videos, and it's just so helpful. And I've been getting that aha of doing less to be more, just because and last time I mentioned meditation about the breathing, your question was, so what are you forgetting to do? Like stuff that, and at the moment I didn't even think about it, but now that I've been doing more of what actually makes me feel good, I remembered that question. Like what am I forgetting to do? Because I like spontaneously start doing a lot of things that I love. Like I yesterday I missed the first half of the call because I went out for a walk with the kids, and then today I did the same thing. I got their bikes. So I've been outside more. I've been reading more. I've been meditating more, doing yoga more, stuff that I love to do, but like and then do again and stop and do again. So I've been thinking I have to work more on my consistency of doing more of what I love. But that's when I kind of had the aha of like doing less at the same time. And I heard yesterday's call. I heard it this morning. Kind of like I actually woke up at like 1 something in the morning, wide awake, not tired, and I saw like the first 20-30 minutes of it, and then I started getting a little bit tired, and I was like, okay, let me get some sleep before, because I wake up early either way for the babies, usually around 6. So I was like, it was like 2 in the morning. I was like, okay, let me get some sleep and I'll finish it in the morning. And I finished it today, and I have to say, like, that call is so powerful. I mean, they all are, but yesterday was really amazing. I'm so happy that I watched it, and kind of gave me, like, I've been wanting to talk, but like watching yesterday's call today was like, okay, I need to say hi. I need to say thank you.
So do me a favor, stand there for just a second and take a big old breath in. Do it one more time. Yeah. Remember to just take those big breaths. You are going 900 miles an hour in all directions with love and joy and peace and happiness. When you're doing your yoga, make sure you're just taking those big breaths. When you're doing those moments of meditation, big breaths.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Something just happened. What just happened?
I feel happy right now. Just happy to be happy.
Good. We love you. I love you so much. I mean, you're just amazing.
Love you guys more. I love you more. Thank you so much, Rhonda. I love you. Thank you guys. You're amazing.
I love you, Shammy. It's so wonderful to see you. I've been feeling you a whole lot the past week, and I've been praying for you and just sending you lots of love and support. And Brandon wrote it down there just a minute ago, and you need to read it. You are a wonderful mother. And I adore you for putting them first and letting them go out and play, and then you taking care of everything and coming back on the call. That's amazing priorities, and you need to hear that you're doing a great job. I love you, girl.
Thank you. Love you.
Can you imagine what it's going to be like? So I was chatting with Michelle yesterday, my bride, and I said, she goes, when are y'all going to meet? I said, well, as soon as we can figure that out, because we were planning on doing something late June or July until all of this pandemonium started of togetherness. And I said, yeah, I was telling Michelle, I go, yeah, some of these folks, I'm telling them, be prepared for a long hug. And y'all started throwing up a half hour, 20 minutes, 15 minutes, a half an hour. I'm like, day one might just be hug day. Hug and tear day. What's going to be?
We need to plan that way ahead so I can make sure I can come too.
Yes, no, we will. We will definitely do that. So it's becoming evident that we do need to circle in time and space, and it'll be an amazing just mastermind of awareness, awakening, of next level of dialogue. So yeah, I can't even I'm just anticipating it. The energy like flows through my body amazingly.
Yeah, the first day is gonna be hug fest.
Yeah. Each other, me, together, group. It's gonna be, and the stories and the awarenesses and the awakenings and just yeah, oof, it'll be amazing. Talk about anticipation. uh, who else thought? RBP? I know you spoke a little earlier, but what's running through your head?
I'm just sitting over here enjoying. I love seeing that. How many places do we go that we're hearing stuff and we're learning stuff, but you never see the application? It's funny that today is Sunday, because that's one of the biggest places. You go to church or you see churches and you see all these thousands and thousands and thousands of people going into the church doors. And then when they come out, rarely do you see a change, and you don't see application. Now, some of it is they don't know how to apply it. They haven't been discipled well enough to know how to apply it. But what I'm seeing on here is there's hungry souls eager to make a change. And we're all, I include myself in this greatly, we're all listening, showing up, listening, being consistent, but we're applying what we're learning, and we're growing into wisdom. And it won't be long before people will start looking at every one of us, every one of y'all, and going, what is so different about you? What is so strange about you? Have you lost weight? Have you changed your outfits? Are you different style? Did you do your hair different? What is it about you? Because they're going to be drawn to the light and to the wisdom inside of you. And I'm sitting here thinking about it because usually at this time on every Sunday, I'm at church, and I have the blessed opportunity to be on the altar team, and I get to receive anybody that comes down that wants prayer for any reason. And that's one of my favorite moments, because it's my moment to physically stand and get out of the way and let God just show up. And whether anybody shows up or whether 9 million people come down for prayer, it doesn't matter. It's that moment for application. It's that moment for me to actually walk what I'm talking, walk what I'm practicing, walk what I'm preaching. And I love it. And I'm sitting here listening to how beautiful God has meshed the two together, because I'm like, okay, on Sundays, you got a lot of people walking around, and they walk into church and they got to put their church face on, their happy face, their love everybody. And we got our church clothes on and we look the part. How many of us have walked into a network marketing hotel meeting or home meeting or whatever you call them, and everybody looks the part? Everybody's got their clothes, right, and they got their network marketing face on, and their hand of fellowship and shaking everyone's hand, and they're happy to see everybody. And then when you leave the marketing or the meeting, it's like, who are you? Like, they're not nice anymore, and they ain't got their face on anymore. And I'm like, that runs parallel with a lot of people that go to church too. And I'm not Christian bashing. I'm a huge Christian. Like, Jesus is my everything. But what I'm saying here is, y'all are, I say y'all just because I'm speaking from my perspective, me included, y'all are the perfect example of what God wants to do in every one of us. And it's, come listen to some great information. Sean has got this amazing gift of relaying information, ironically, that we've all heard before. We're just hearing it differently. And we're in a different place called compound learning. We're in a different place. So when we hear it, it hits us differently. And y'all are applying this. And I'm sitting over here going, thank you, God, for slowing the pace of the earth down. Thank you for slowing life's pace down. Because here's what we all get. We all get this moment right now to do less because we can't be going nowhere. Well, you don't need to be, but you're becoming more. And he's given everybody on the planet, like this is new network marketing company launch right here. Everybody on the planet has the same opportunity, the same starting point, the same level. He's given us all that opportunity. So what are you doing with it? You guys showing up and hearing this, me showing up every day with my husband going, y'all do this every day? Yes. Every day, honey, you should be glad because I don't want to cut your head off anymore. I want to love you because of these calls. What are you doing in your peace and quiet that's helping you become more? Meaning, are you sitting here in the Cardinals? Are you sitting? I watch my daughter lay on the ground and read. What? I watched a tree frog and took pictures of it. You'll see it later. We looked at caterpillars. But the whole time I'm doing that, I'm doing so much less. I'm not cooking, I'm not cleaning, I'm not running down the roads, I'm not running to Walmart, I'm not running to theater, I'm doing less. But in the eyes of my daughter, I'm becoming so much more. And in the eyes of God, I'm becoming so much more. And when I see them turn and look at me, and they look at me with more love in their eyes for me than I've ever seen, I get so full of gratitude that I can't go to church today. I can't go to Walmart today. I can't go to theater today. I can't do any of that today because God has ordained so much more for me with less around. Everything Sean's been teaching us, God's like, hang on, hold up. Let me stop the world so some of these people can do less, become more. And he just said, done. So what are you accepting this? Instead of posting crazy stuff about being quarantined, are you thankful for the moments that God said, you know what? Obviously, no one in this world is getting it right. Let me make everybody stay at home at the same time. Maybe then everybody will get it. Are you being thankful for that? Can you sit in gratitude? I woke up this morning, go look at my post, and I walked outside and the sky was on fire. And the sun begins to rise and the birds are like singing like crazy. And I'm like, wow. Do you know if I had to go to church today, I would have never stopped and looked out my front porch because I'd have been worried about, I got to get my outfit picked out, got to get my makeup on, got to get my hair right, got to get my Bible study done, got to get to church at this time, got to get on the altar team. And he said, you know what? Stop. Go look at my creation. And while you're listening, while you're looking, I'm going to give you something to listen to. I'm going to give you some music. These birds are going to sing just for you because I placed them right here, just like I did for Gina. I'm going to place them right here so they can get in your ear and they can whisper sweet nothings to you that are full of my joy and my peace. And it blessed my heart because I'm sitting here going, if the birds can praise him, my God, why aren't I? And if the birds can be thankful every morning the sun comes up, why can't I sit in that same joy? Why can't I sit in that and sing a song about that? So I'm over here writing these things down. And I wrote down these moments of solitude are for your growth and your trajectory change. And if and when life speeds back up to a different pace, it'll catapult you to a total different place. And people will be going, what the heck happened? Who did you become? I went nuts with my family in quarantine. And you can look at them and go, oh no, baby girl. God gave me that moment to get it together. And because I didn't have as much to do, I have become so much more. And then I'm hearing Sean over here saying when silence shows up, that's when it gets real loud. Gina,
it got really, really quiet around your house. And what did you hear? The birds, the loudness of the silence. And then he said, when you give all you've got, you'll get all you want. Like, he's dropping nuggets in between all of us sharing our hearts. And I'm going, everybody that's spoken has had these profound moments. From The Lion King, I watched The Never Ending Story because it got put on my heart by Monique the other day. I watched it and was able to sit with my 8-year-old and have these huge, deep theological discussions that she had no clue she was having. Like, y'all, there's all these moments given to us. Instead of walking around with hey, I'm in a business and I look the part and I got a smile on my face, why don't you just be the part? Stop acting the part and just be the part. My little girl woke up. Just be it. I need you. I love you. I need all this. And I wrote down, give away what is not needed to receive what more you need and want. Y'all, that's good stuff. That was none of mine. That was all y'all. That's all y'all and Sean right there. So these moments that I don't usually get to spend with y'all on Sundays, let me tell you right now, some of this is better than any of the Sundays I've spent in a church. And that says a lot, because I've been in church since I was in the womb. And y'all give me a place to where I don't have to do anything except show up. And that's beautiful. I am blessed to breathe the air on Sunday with y'all that we're all breathing. I love y'all.
We love you, Rhonda.
Love you too, Rhonda.
I love you. I love you.
Love you, Rhonda.
I love you. Ah!
And so I want to go out. I want to go out West Coast a little bit here to somebody who I absolutely love and adore, who just is in the throe of things on a regular basis. And I loved a post of her and her husband walking around hand in hand. Leslie, you've just been going 900 miles an hour as this thing starts to unfold, and now you get to kind of slow down just a little bit. What's happening with you, and what are you seeing that's happening?
Well, oh my gosh, this is a dream come true. A staycation? Are you kidding? I have not actually had a vacation in probably 10 years. So the fact that I'm able to slow and let down and relax and be still is just a gift. You know, I realize that there's a whole lot of drama happening out there and around me, but when you're safe and secluded in a little bubble, you don't let that in. You just stay in joy. You know, it's I honestly, I'm just in heaven. I'm just in heaven.
So
we're spending more time together. We're going for walks. It's great.
Was there a day as this started to move to where you were getting the staycation, the unwinding was not necessarily unwinding, it was unraveling? Or were you
That
just
too. No, that too, because you're just letting go of all of the stuff that's been holding you down and binding you up. So yes, unraveling is a good way to say that.
So as a very strong woman who's in a very strong business, what were some of the mindsets that you awakened to? What was some of the trainings that allowed you to plug into, and just so that you could go from 110 to
Nothing.
less than 110?
Well, even with the 90,000 miles an hour that I usually run at, I can always find a moment to, I do that. I like Rhonda, I stop and I look around me, the beauty that's always out there. if we just get still for a moment and let it in. So I've always done that. I'm just able to do it more often. I have more time to stay present, I guess that's the best way to say it. Stay present and just be.
And part of the reason, even when you're going the 90,000 miles an hour, you still deal with a pretty impressive clientele, meaning the animals that you carry, the clients that you shuffle around, you chauffeur. They're pretty amazing at reading energy. So it's almost imperative that no matter the traffic, no matter this, but when you get around those animals, they can absolutely read you. So you've had to, over the years and years and years of working with high-end equestrian, right? I mean, that's just coming to me. I'm not even sure how I'm explaining that or having that conversation, but does that make sense?
It absolutely does. They always are feeling the energy. So I guess you compartmentalize. It has that. Is that a good way of explaining it? There's, your mind might be going, but your body has to be still. And they respond to that for sure.
And folks, when I say high-end clientele, these are the horses that win races that are household names that get moved around.
No. I don't get wrong genre.
Well, but
Olympics, you guys think jumping horses Olympics.
So, but I mean, if you are in that world, there's some pretty high-end, but they're very,
yes,
they have a high price tag, which puts a lot of stress on everybody. It's still the same horse with 4 hooves and an amazing heart, but
yes,
but it's just this, the stress of having to get them to a particular location and get them back from a location. So it's a highly stressful scenario, but that's dealing on the human side. The horse still needs to have that love and affection. So it's why she's #1 in her business that she does. So it's just an amazing to see this woman actually slow down, and to see her, and for me to watch her posts of, we're walking the neighborhood, and it's like, I don't know in the years that I've known her that I've ever seen her be able to post, we're walking the neighborhood. I've seen her do work around the house and the patio and everything, but walking the neighborhood.
No, we do walk this neighborhood, and that's actually, but I see more people now, from a distance, but this neighborhood is pretty cool, and I'm really blessed that we were able to move into it. Somebody up there was looking out for us and gave me a good place to land. But we have more time, like twice in one day. That's huge. That's huge. Versus, 3 or 4 times a week.
That's so awesome. I love you so much. Thank you.
It is. I'm so blessed. Slow yourselves down, you guys, and allow what's happening to us in. Happening for us. I'm going to say that. Happening for us.
Oh, a friend did her horse ride around our area yesterday and took us for a ride. It was cool.
Have fun.
That's so cool. Yeah, I remember I grew up with my dad's business partner had polo ponies. So grew up with polo ponies and those animals. And there's just something about giving a horse a hug around its neck. There ain't nothing like it.
Good hugs.
So folks, how are you feeling? Anyone else? Where's Stacy? I saw Stacy on here. Where's Stacy?
I am here, Sean. Hello, Misfits.
How are you?
I am here today. I'm so glad I showed up.
What's shaking in your
honestly, so thankful, Sean, for providing this platform.
What's happening?
Y'all hear me?
What are you feeling? What's shaking in your world right now? What are you becoming aware to, awakening?
Well, can everyone hear me?
Yep.
Okay. So my phone is breaking up and I'm not sure why, but I'm feeling wonderful. I'm feeling light. I'm feeling happy. I'm feeling grateful.
Y'all notice the star above her head? Did y'all see that? That burst above her head? of joy. I mean, it's literally on the window. It's not, we're making this up. It is on the window right above your head. It's gorgeous. So
You know, I've
interesting.
been without Zora for a few weeks. She's actually in Texas. I've been without my daughter, but you guys really helped me deal with the present moment and filling me with love during these times. And I really appreciate it.
We love you too. And Zora is in all our hearts, no matter where she travels. And she's always just giving us all tremendous joy. So what an amazing day. So very cool. Hey, Diane, how are you?
Good. I'm great today.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful sunny day and there's no wind. Took the dog out and my husband's gone on a bike ride, so it's all good.
So Diane, are you in Canada? Where are you from?
Yes, I'm on the East Coast in Nova Scotia.
Okay. Because you know how you gave it away, right?
Oh, my accent.
Took the dog out. I took the dog out. I love you. How are you feeling, my love?
Oh, great. Great. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So thank you. I love the sign behind you, no limits. Everybody's talking about that. Limitless, this, that, and the other. And then all of a sudden you pop up and there's the no limit sign.
Oh, yeah.
So thank you for being here. Thank you for always just having tremendous energy and showing up on camera and the comments you share. I just absolutely love you. And I know everybody loves you here and appreciates you.
Thank you. Thank you. I get energy from all of you and all the love. Thanks.
Awesome. So I see Brianna and I think I see a big, huge smile right there. And so is there a message there? Is there a song there that we need to hear this morning, my love?
I wasn't singing. Good morning, guys. I was actually taking pictures of everybody on the call smiling that has their videos on. So I've got a picture of Miss Diane, a picture of Sean, Gina, and Stacy. And I got a picture of Brandon, but he's like, I think his daughter did something and he just automatically looked up and he has this weird face. It's not a smile, but it still made me laugh. I'm doing okay. I got to see my morning, like through the glass, because we have like a glass slide in the back. So I'm in the backyard, and then the slide door is through the kitchen, and she's like smiling. She's like, "Hi, Auntie." Hi. She's making 2 in June, but she's like trying to figure out why she can't come outside, and it kind of made me a little sad. But I know it's for her, it's of her best interest for us to stay apart. So she like came to my tent and she was like waving, smiling. Got a few pictures of her too. Life is good. The sun is out.
So
Everyone is doing yard work.
How many more days is
Cleaning out the old.
how many more days of self-quarantine?
I'm on day 3, so I've got like 11 days left. My mom said I could get tested in a week.
Okay.
So around day 7, I can get tested because the symptoms don't show until like, I don't know, like a week to 2 weeks.
Okay.
I don't feel sick though. I went to the beach yesterday. I was showing you guys the water. That was nice. Just to be outside.
That's awesome. Well, we love you. Thank you.
Love you. Love you all.
Chairman Stan, you got your hand up, brother.
Hey, what's up, Sean? How you doing?
Outstanding, man.
Man, I just want to show some gratitude for these calls because I'm driving right now. I do deliveries, and I'm just listening, and everybody just has me stuck with a smile on my face because everybody's just like, when Shammy was talking, she sounds so happy. I was just smiling the entire time. I was loving what Rhonda was saying. I love when she speaks. She brought some heat today. And Brandon, what he was saying with Lion King, I was listening to all that, and it was just making me smile. And just me listening to these calls every single morning is just a great way to start my day. It's kind of like my personal development right here every single morning. Just listening, it just helps so much. And I'm really grateful for you, Sean. You're literally like an antenna of information, basically, to the universe. Like, you help so many people, and you really make an impact. So I just want to say thank you.
Well, I love you, brother. I appreciate you for showing up every day and for sharing what you know and asking questions about what you don't know and letting us all pour into you, because this is what we need right now. We need every one of you is important, because as this there's still some more not so fun things to have happen yet. There's still some more patterns that need to unfold that are trending in a particular direction. And as this comes out, people are going to need a place to be loved, to find energy, to find a source. And as Rhonda says, not for people to look for you to be their savior, but to look to say, is somebody saved that I can follow? Can I get more of what they have? Can I have what they have? Can I do what they do? Can I actually really get into this idea of doing less and becoming more? So each one of you are going to be this light that stands tall in this when you come out of this, because people are going to wonder, how did you get through this? Right? And all you'll have to do is just show up and say, hey, listen, I love you. What can we have a conversation with? So I appreciate that. I didn't read my devotional yet today. Let's see what's in it.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's good.
The first line. Stop trying to work things out before their time have come. Mic drop. Accept the limitations of living one day at a time. Brianna, right? Day 3. I swear it was like I had to figure Brianna is in self-quarantine for like 10 days already because of just the energy. I mean, the connection and the feeling. She goes, nope, day 3. It's like, what? Accept the limitations of living one day at a time. When something comes to your attention, ask me whether or not it is a part of today's agenda. The cardinals, the birds will give you some, right? What if Jim Rohn's story changes? The birds will give you some. If it isn't, release it into my care and go about your today's duties. When you follow this practice, you will be a beautiful simplicity. There will be a beautiful simplicity about your life. Time for everything and everything in time. The Lion King, really? The Lion King gave you wisdom? Absolutely it does. The Never-Ending Story gave you theological conversations? Of course it did. Everything, time for everything. Isn't that doing less? Time for everything and everything in time. Doing more. A life lived close to me is not complicated or cluttered. When you focus on my presence, the stillness, many things that once troubled you lose their power over you. I noticed a shelf with a little lip on it. I'm hearing cardinals come every day. Birds are singing when I step out to see the sunrise. I'm seeing people walk in my neighborhood. I'm walking in my neighborhood twice a day. How amazing. Through the world around, though the world around you is messy. Is that true today? And confusing. Remember that I have overcome the world. I have told you these things so that in me you may have peace. Well, that's a coincidence.
Hey, Sean, I got a post that I'd like to share that I seen yesterday.
Do it, brother.
All right. It says, in 3 short months, just like he did with the plagues of Egypt, God has taken away everything we worship. God said, you want to worship athletes? I will shut down the stadiums. You want to worship musicians? I will shut down civic centers. You want to worship actors? I will shut down theaters. You want to worship money? I will shut down the economy and collapse the stock market. You don't want to go to church and worship me? I will make it where you can't go to church. If my people who are called by my name will humble themselves and pray and seek my face and turn from their wicked ways, then I will hear from heaven and will forgive their sins and will heal their land. Maybe we don't need a vaccine. Maybe we need to take this time of isolation from distractions of the world and have a personal revival where we focus only on things in the world that really matter. Jesus. Start the revival in your home. Spread love of Jesus.
Amen, Ralph. Come on,
Amen,
brother.
amen.
That's good stuff.
Yeah, I wonder how many people actually thought about going to buy a pair of Nike shoes today. Ralph, that was absolutely brilliant. Thank you for sharing that with us.
No problem. It'll be on my post today.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be on there.
There you go. Rob. We just need our robes. Y'all, this is amazing. The awakening that's happening. The community that's absolutely taking care of each other by taking care of ourselves.
Sean?
Yes, please, Steph.
Just a quick thing. So I wanted to share that with you guys. I have this app. It's called Idillionaire. And I get like little quotes every day. And it's crazy how fitting, how often those quotes are. Like they randomly pop up, like you can set it that it like randomly throughout the day sends you like little messages. And I just wanted to share the one that I got today that says today's vision. And it says, may I receive inside guidance and wisdom for my current situation that lifts me higher and reminds me that all is okay.
There's no telling when that was programmed into the system and how prevalent and how unique it comes right
Yeah.
now.
It's so often like I had those messages come up and they came out at the right time and how fitting that was. I was just like, wow. And I think this one just fit for, the conversation that we had today. And I just wanted to share it.
Very cool. By the way, how are you feeling today?
A lot better. Lighter,
Yeah.
I would say. I didn't dream, as I told you. I didn't have any dreams I don't remember them. But I don't know, I just feel light, a lot lighter.
Cool.
So thank you again.
Your smile looks brighter.
Yeah. Feels good.
Hey, I got a special guest with me.
Look at that.
It's Mr. Pink Robe Lady. Y'all say good morning to my husband, Rick.
Good morning.
Morning, Rick.
Morning, Rick.
Good morning, Mr. Rick.
Morning.
Morning, Rick.
Morning.
He was trying to say he
morning.
was too scared to be on camera. I said, no, get back over here. This is one of the strongest men. He's not scared of anything. The more I learn, the more I realize one of the things that irritated me the most about this man, even though I still married him, was his lack of addiction to approval. He has no worries if he does something that's 180 degrees in the opposite direction. He doesn't care if you don't like it. He doesn't care if you don't want to join him. It's amazing. This is why God gave me him. I don't know what he did to deserve me, bless his poor little heart. But I know that I think it's a more woman thing, probably so. God knew I needed somebody like this, and to have him over here and come on and say hi to y'all means the world. But y'all just, girls, if you're lucky enough to find this, oh my gosh, he's over here giggling. But let me tell you something. One of the ways to find a man like this
It's through God.
Yeah, and so that's what I was about to say. If you hide in God's heart, man or woman, if you hide yourself in God's heart, then that other person has to come through God to find you. And if they come through God to find you, then you know where they're looking first. And that's when you'll find a good partner. That's when you'll find a good spouse. So, yeah, I just wanted him to say hi to y'all. Say hi.
What's happening, Rick? Go Longhorns.
Hey, Ralph said go Longhorns. And he's a Maryland guy, so smart man, huh? Okay.
Wow,
All right, he can go.
we got 2 syllables out of Rick. We're moving forward. It's
Sean knows you well, honey.
we got a yes, dear, hi, and then we got a ooh on sports. So we're
Yeah.
rocking.
That's the use of his words for the day.
That's
The
it.
rest will just be in action. That's it. No more.
What an amazing soul. Anyone else? Any last thoughts, comments before we have a wrap up this morning? Everyone does want to meet at some point.
Yes.
So, Rhonda, you want to send us off in prayer?
Oh, I would love to. Y'all ready? Here we go. Heavenly Father, thank you for today. Thank you for the birds. Thank you for the sunshine. Thank you for the breath in our lungs. Thank you for the joy and the laughter. Thank you that we don't have to have labels and titles to be able to hear from you, to learn from you, to speak your word to others, to love each other, that we can hop on a call like this. Thank you for the technology, that we can hop on a call like this and we can support each other through you. We can learn from each other because of you, and you will pour into any of us. You are no respecters of man, and I'm so grateful that you aren't, and that you love us equally, and that you chose us before we've ever chosen you. You've seen our value before we ever see it. You know what gifts you've put inside of us, and you know how to develop them, and you know who we need to help develop them. Father, thank you for the moment in time right now. Thank you for the slow pace. Thank you for each soul that's on this call. Bless their home, bless their lives, bless their families, bless their pocketbooks, bless their cars, bless their work, bless their generations to come, Heavenly Father. I thank you so much that we have you. I thank you so much that we have each other. Bless this day. Help us to be a blessing to others for you. And we'll give you all the glory and all the honor in the name of Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Amen.
And amen.
Amen.
Thank you, Shonda. Somebody.
That's the best one yet. Pink robe Shonda.
Yeah.
I love you all. Enjoy your day. We'll see you tomorrow morning, bright and early. And just know that this day was made for you, and you were made for it. And together, man, we're all just doing a little bit less and having so much more. I thank you. I appreciate you. Love you all. I'm Sean Murphy. I'll see y'all where? At the next event. Y'all send some love to each other.
I love y'all.
Love you guys.
Love y'all.
Love
Bye,
y'all,
everyone.
my Misfit
Love you
family.
guys.
Love you guys.
Everyone
Love
have
you
a
guys.
blessed day.
Love y'all. Bye,
Have a
guys.
blessed day.
Enjoy your day,
Kisses back
Donald.
at you, Rob.